Good evening and welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. I got my wine. I don't know about you. How are we doing today? My name is Jesse and welcome to Questionable Sports. Let's get started. You know how we do it. I'm going to start off with a little drink today. Cheers to y'all. I don't have no shots, but I'll take a drink still. There we go. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. I know I am. I'm not working right now, so that's always a good thing. I did go to work. I'm just saying I'm not working right now. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's see what we got on the agenda today. Scotty will be joining us today. So, again, welcome to Questionable Sports. My name is Jesse. Welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about the Mavs, Stars, and Rangers. Just a little bit. We're not going to spend all night on it because we got a lot to talk about. We got games to watch. Scotty's going to be talking loud. What do you think? You know, we got that segment. What do you think? We got the NFL free agent recap. We got a lot going on with that. The question of the day, the important days, and of course, important dates, not days, important dates. And of course, this is my show, so I always have the last word. So let's get right on into it. Let's talk about the Mavs, Rangers, and the Stars. Um, hey, Mom, how you doing today? Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining. Again, we're going to talk Mavs, Stars, and Rangers. The other night, I watched Rangers, not the Rangers. Mavs finally won. We're talking about the Mavs right now. It's going to be tough for them. God, if they pull out any victories, it's going to be um, a scrappy win. They just don't have the scorer. You know, Kyrie going down, he was their primary scorer. They don't have that. Their bigs are down. They're just getting out rebound out. You know, it's kind of getting pushed around. But at the end of the day, you know, it was a good win, and I'm not rooting for the organization. Again, I'm not rooting for the organization. They piss me off. I can't stand them. But I am rooting for the team that they put on the court. So um, they did play the Spurs. They beat the Spurs. I'm not a fan of the Spurs. You know, ever since back in the '90s when I started watching basketball or really paying attention to basketball, so the early 2000s when Spurs were kicking the Mavs ass all the time, knocking them out the playoffs. Oh, that what you call it? Chill out. What's up, Oscar? Thank you for joining the show. How you doing today, sir? Hope little man's doing good. But as I was saying, I remember when Spurs used to always knock the Mavericks out of the playoffs. It used to piss me off. I couldn't stand the Spurs. But they play the Spurs again tonight, so hopefully they get another one. And there you go. I can't complain either. So hopefully they can get another one. This is crazy. So I looked up. I wanted to see how many players are injured. So the Mavs have 17 players on their roster right now, and 10 of them are hurt. So they're going to only have 7 people suited up to play. I was watching the game the other day, and it's crazy to see on the bench when they go and celebrate it or call a timeout. You see more people in plain clothes than you see suited up for a basketball game. That shit's crazy. Y'all who can play basketball, lace them up. Start putting y'all's videos out there for the Mavs. They might be calling y'all because anybody else goes down, I don't know what they're gonna do. And that's crazy. I've never seen nothing like this. And I've seen it in high school and maybe college ball. You know, maybe a lower tier basketball team, but not in fucking uh NBA. You have a G League. I'm not sure why they're not getting players from the G League or if their league's even going on right now. They might be in hiatus right now. You're in. Uh, huh? Hello, Emma. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. I hope you did good at school today. You better. Or no, nothing for you. But that's just crazy. But let's talk about a team that is winning, the Stars. I said this from the beginning, guys. Watch the Stars. They're a good team. They just made a trade. It helped with their offense a little bit. Their defense is pretty good. They're actually ranked number one on penalty kills. So that's actually pretty good. That's that's hard to do because you're down a man, and you to stop them from scoring. That's pretty damn good. But yeah, their favorite right. They're not favorite, but they're up there to make it to the Stanley Cup. So highly recommend checking them out. It's hard to watch them, I know, because they're not always on TV. But get that Victory Plus app. It's free. You just got to sign up, and then you can watch them whenever they're not on national television. Because they always say they'll be on like ESPN Plus, but when you get on ESPN Plus, it's always blacked out. But yeah, so just download the app, Victory Plus. Is what it's called, and just sign up. They'll ask for your email, verify your email. Boom, bada boom, and you can start watching. It don't cost nothing. It's free, so feel free to just do that. Um, but yeah, they're second in the Central Division. They're 42-20, so they're gonna make a good. I think they're gonna make a good push in the playoffs. And when they get to the playoffs, actually, that's gonna be on national television. So then you can start catching them when you can be watching it on TNT and ESPN. So look forward to that. Now we got the Rangers coming up. Rangers are so close. Remember I said March 27th, the opening day for baseball. Actually 18 and 19, but that's for the Dodgers and the Cubs, not the Rangers. But then 27th of March, baseball season kicks off. I'm excited this year. I was excited last year because they just came off a World Series, but then everything came crashing down when all their players started getting hurt. I think it's something in the water. Something in the water. Everybody's getting hurt in Dallas. It was happening. Cowboys, Rangers last year, um, and Mavericks. Stars have been hurting too. So I'm not gonna sit there and say Stars are not hurt. Sagan's out. Hintz is out right now. So I'm not knocking the Stars, saying they're not being able to stay healthy. But there is a lot to look forward to for the Rangers this year. I think their batting is going to be awesome. They're going to have one of the best offensive batting lineup, top to bottom. I mean, you're going to go with the Yankees and plus the Dodgers. They're going to be good too, but Rangers are up there. They're one of the four teams that might be a World Series contenders. So we'll see. I hope so. I'd love to have them go back to the World Series. That'd be nice. I mean, with me personally, with the Rangers, if they could just make a playoffs and make a good playoff run, I'd be happy with that. I mean, they already gave us a World Series. I mean, and they weren't even expected to win the World Series that year. So that was awesome. I still relive that stuff in my head all the time. So, um, but yeah, moving right along, it's time for games to watch. Games to watch today, this weekend. I up until the next show, I guess you could say. Um, Basketball, Mavs and Spurs. They're playing actually right now on Channel 29 on regular TV. If you do have cable, it's 29, I believe. I'm not sure for everybody, but Spectrum it is. Um, so hopefully they can beat the Spurs again, get on a 2-game winning streak. But we'll see. With 7 players, that still blows my mind. You have Thunders and Celtic playing right now on ESPN. So if you're actually watching me instead of the basketball game, I appreciate that because I think that's a really good game. Thunders and Celtics. Could be a preview of the finals. I don't know who's not to say. Because Mavs ain't gonna be there. I'll tell you that much. NASCAR for all my NASCAR lovers out there that are gonna be in Las Vegas Motor Speedway Sunday, March 16th at 2:30 on Fox Sports 1. I about to say Southwest. That's old. Fox Sports 1. So yeah, for all you NASCAR fans out there, if y'all want to watch some NASCAR this Sunday, there you go, 2:30 on Fox Sports 1. NHL Stars don't play today, but they do play on Friday against the Jets. Winnipeg. I was like, what are their first name? But yeah, the Winnipeg Jets Friday at 7. So feel free to check that out. It's going to be on the Victory app. So it's also going to be if you have the NHL Network. If you may got the bundle, I'm not sure, but if you do have that channel, it's going to be on the NHL Network. And tonight you got the Sabres and the Red Wings playing at 6:30 on TNT. They're not great teams. Red Wings used to be a great team back in the 90s, not anymore. Sabres, they're a team. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but they've never made a great push. No college basketball game today. It was crazy when I was looking up to see what games to watch. There are some games tomorrow to watch. Maybe Scotty would know, but I don't. But yeah, so they're getting ready. They're playing their conference games right now, getting ready for the conference championship. Sunday is Selection Sunday. That's for the basketball tournament, March Madness. Get ready. We're actually going to have something to watch all week next week. Basically, it starts Tuesday. It's the bubble games. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the bubble games, and then Thursdays when the actual bracket starts. And then you're going to have games from 11 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday to basically 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I mean 11 o'clock at night. So you're gonna have college basketball all day, and there hopefully there's some upsets because everybody loves upsets, and at least I do. So, but that's all we got for what to watch. Next segment, let's get into what do you think? So, what do you think? That's the segment where I ask the question. Y'all in chat, y'all tell me what y'all think, but I'll give you my opinion as well. Um, Here we go. Again, I do 4 questions, so I don't want to go and do like 5, 10. I ain't got time to do all that. We ain't got time for that. But um, if there's a question that y'all want to know, feel free to let me know in the chat, and we'll go over it. I'll give you my opinion. I don't mind giving my opinion. Most of the time, I might be wrong, but I don't care. That's what I do. The first question is, what do y'all think of Sam Darnold? The Sam Darnold deal with Seattle. He got a 3-year, $100.5 million, 55 guarantee. What do y'all think about that contract? Now, me personally, he had one good year with Minnesota, and he had some great receivers, good running back, great defense. So now he's going to go to Seattle, who has they're a step down. I believe it's a step down as a team. They just traded DK Metcalf to the Steelers. And I actually think Geno Smith was a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. He's more of a composed, he don't turn the ball over quarterback, and then you're getting a Sam Darnold quarterback who had again one good season. Who don't perform in the playoffs? Sam Darnold. He's just not a big name guy. He's not a big game guy. Let's just say that he's like I said, at best he's a decent quarterback. I'm not gonna knock a quarterback because that's a hard position to play, But he's a decent quarterback where he's mid tier. I say maybe ranked 15th, 16th, maybe in NFL. In my books, if I was sit there to rank the quarterbacks, I may put him around there somewhere. Uh, but look at the receivers he had though. Look at Jefferson and he had who's the other receiver he had? God dang, I can't think of his name. But they had two good receivers. They had a solid. They got a good line, and you're gonna go from a good line to a Seattle line who ain't as great. I'm not gonna say the Seattle offensive line is not great, but they're not. I think Minnesota has a better offensive line. Minnesota has a better running game. We saw that. Um, and yeah, Seattle, they they just the thing with Seattle's running game, the running backs couldn't stay healthy, and it has nothing to do with the offensive line or anything like that. Just it's you get the injury bug, and that's what happened with Seattle's running back. Did we have Scotty just join? No, oh, I thought I heard him. Maybe it was something else. You're glad they kept Turpin. Yeah, the Cowboys did keep Turpin, 3 years, $18 million contract. So not a bad. I think it's not a bad contract. He's a couple people saying he's just a returner, but hey, returners make a difference. We saw what he did in the Washington game when he made that punt or kickoff back for a touchdown because Washington had all the momentum at that point. They had a chance to come back. He took that ball back for a touchdown, and Cowboys were able to win that game. And don't forget, that was a Washington team that was in the playoffs. Don't forget that. So, but it is what it is. Where would I leave off at? Oh, Sam Darnold. Um, but I wish him well. I like Seattle. I'm not a Seattle fan, so I'm not a Seattle hater. Let's just put it that way. Um, I was rooting for them in the Super Bowl when they lost to the Patriots. I liked when they had the Legion of Doom. I was a fan of that. I wasn't a fan when Romo choked in the extra point, the snap. That hurt my heart. But other than that, Seattle doesn't bug me. Uh, I'm not and I haven't never been a Vikings fans really much either. So it's going to be interesting to see what Sam Darnold's going to do in Seattle. But we'll see. I mean, I wish all these players the best of luck. I know he got paid. That's all that matters. He got paid three. What was that? I say 3 year, $100 million, 55 guaranteed. So they're paying him a little over 33 million a year, almost 34 million a year. Damn. Hey, that's actually not a bad deal though. Because what's Dak? Dak's getting paid 55. Mahomes is getting paid 30, 40 something. So yeah, maybe that's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal for Seattle. So next question, number two. What do you think of the Colts quarterback battle with Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones? Now, I would love to hear Scott's opinion on this one, but he's not here. He may not make it today. It's all good. I did the show on myself last week. I can do it again. It's my show. It's my show. Um, but I think Daniel Jones has proven to not be a great quarterback. He finessed the hell out of the Giants. I said this to Scott because Scott's a big Giants fan. I told him when they signed him to that contract, I was like, he's not a great quarterback. Why are they signing him? Even Scott said he wasn't a great quarterback. Even other Giants fans was not excited about them re-signing Daniel Jones. So it's crazy for them, for that part. And he, like I said, he finessed them. He got all that money and he jumped up, didn't have to play half the season. They benched him. That's crazy. And then he leaves, and now they coach signed him to compete for a starting position. I like. Okay, now let me talk about Anthony Richardson real quick. He was a solid quarterback in college. He was a good quarterback in college for Florida. But this is what happens, and I always say this. This is what happens when owners, GMs, scouts start listening to the hype. He was a good quarterback. He has a strong arm. He's a very strong quarterback. He got a good running game. He can run the ball a little bit. But when a lot of his great plays were scrambles, moving out the pocket. You got to remember, college and NFL, two different ball games. I remember Manziel. Everybody's, oh, he's so great. But if you look, a lot of his plays, he can't do that in the NFL. And that's the same thing with Anthony Richardson. Is a lot of his plays, he can't do that in NFL. He can't go run, spin, jump, and throw a touchdown pass. Not going to happen. Players are bigger, faster, and the holes are a lot smaller for him to throw a ball. And I ain't gonna say I knew, but I told you. Well, I didn't tell you. I didn't have a sports show at the time. When he came out, I told people who would listen to me on the streets. Yeah, Daniel Jones went to the Colts. I told anybody that would listen to me that I think he's gonna be maybe a second or third string quarterback, not a starting quarterback. But the coach that his first year, he played pretty well. Kind of shocked me, but he just can't get it together. Some games he was just struggling. Some games he was trying to be doing too much. Daddy say a funny joke at the end. Okay, I don't know a lot of jokes, but I'm not a funny guy. But anyways, uh, um, I don't know. I don't. Y'all tell me who y'all think is will be the starting quarterback? Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones? I, if it was me, I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson. I think he has more in the tank and he could do more and he might help them win a game over Daniel Jones. But that's my opinion. Again, like I'm not the insider. I'm not a scout. I'm just a man who watches the games just as like y'all do. Just and talking about it just with y'all. Um, question number three. Number three. What do you think of Kupp getting cut from the Rams? Cooper Kupp. What do y'all think of him getting cut by the Rams? And what's crazy is, and I think I have it in my notes later on. Yeah, okay. Do I have it in? Oh yeah, I do. Right. But what's crazy, and I mean, we'll talk about it when the NFL free agent recap. But um, is they cut him, but they get Devontae Adams. That's It's kind of weird. I think he's a better receiver than Devontae Adams. But that's just my opinion. He's done a lot more. He's done a lot for the Rams, and for them to not want to pick him up or want to trade him. And what's crazy is nobody. Well, I mean, I guess if they were going to cut him already, why trade him? Why trade for something? They were going to if the Rams were going to cut him because they're saying they wanted to put him on the trading blocks, but I guess nobody gave him what they wanted, or maybe nobody even called and say we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait until he gets the free agent and try to do a bidding war, I guess. So, um, I I don't see why the Cowboys don't go after him. They do need his number two and a receiver. Maybe get a number, or he could be if you get another receiver in the draft or something like that. He could be a three. No, he can't. He won't be a three. He'll be a two. Think about it. Y'all think about it. Cowboys. This. Come on, Jerry. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. What's up, Lowe's? Thank you for joining the show. The wide receiver market is stacked, and his injury history, out of respect to him, they had rather release him, just like Zeke. Yeah, he is been injured probably the last few couple of years, but when he's not injured, you know what he can do out the field. When he's not injured, he could put some points on the board or he gets some yards. So, and the thing is, he don't have to be utilized so much here in Dallas because they got CD Lamb. So he don't have to play every down or we just need him down out there on third down, second and third down. First down, hey, get one of them rookies out there. Yeah, like I said, he could be a third receiver. If we can get another receiver, um, like out of the draft or anything. But that's the thing too with this the draft. And I know we're going to get there eventually, and here in the next couple of weeks, have our draft show. Is the receivers this year in the draft are not is not a heavy receiving receivers in this draft. So it's going to be hard to come by a good receiver in the draft. You might get one in the fourth or fifth round who's just maybe be a special teams guy, to be honest with you. There's no standout. You got a Golden out of Texas. You got what's his name? A Bigway out of Ohio State. Um, so you got a few. You got the one out of Arizona, McMillan, out of Arizona, but they're gonna go early. They're not gonna be a third, fourth round pick, and Cowboys are not gonna pick up a receiver unless you can get one at 12. Oh no, I don't even think there's a receiver at 12. I don't know. Would you? I don't think I would waste a receiver on a 12th pick. See, that's tough. I wouldn't. Because there's no CD Lamb. So if there was like a CD Lamb type receiver, then yeah, maybe. But there's no CD Lamb. So, and what I like to do on when we get to the draft show here, and because when we get to April, it's probably pretty much every show is going to be almost talking draft because the draft is real big. It's April 24th again. But when we get to the draft show, I like to speculate or I like to throw little scenarios out there. What if this person drops or what if this team trades this and that? So we can talk about that when the draft comes. Um, Fourth question, last one. What do y'all think about the 49ers cleaning house? I mean, they letting everybody go. Everybody. They going young. They don't, and it's crazy. They don't even want to pay their quarterback, Brock Purdy. They lowballed him. Their first offer they gave him. So, what do y'all think about that? That's just to me. That's just crazy. Um, me, I guess John Lynch is like, you know what? We're gonna get a whole new attitude in this building. We're gonna do everything clean house. We're gonna get players in here that are my people. I mean, the most of the team is his team. He's built, but I think he wants to start from scratch again, start all over, and try to build a Super Bowl team. They had a Super Bowl team. Remember, they had Jim Harbaugh. Don't forget, they had Jim Harbaugh, Colin Kaepernick. They let him go. They let both of them go. What happened to that team that fell apart? That a couple of years ago when was it a couple of years ago when Brock Purdy got hurt in the game and they didn't have no and their backup quarterback got hurt. They had no other quarterback. They put Brock Purdy back in the game, and all he could do was hand the ball off because he couldn't throw the ball. That's crazy. But yeah, I just think the 49ers are cleaning house, getting ready for a whole new revamp of themselves. So, but that's it for what you think. The next segment, we gonna do uh, the NFL free agent. So, recap. We're gonna recap the free agency. We got. Let me start off by what some of the trades that went down. Yeah, I'm gonna do two of them. Like I said, I'm not gonna go here and just bore y'all with this trade and this person got signed for this much money. I'm just gonna say who signed them, and I'm not gonna say all the throw the money out there and all that, because that's just nonsense. I don't care about the money. I just care who went where and why. But DK Metcalf to the Steelers. That's crazy. That's the one of the ones that when we were talking last week, and shout out to Kareem for throwing that out there, saying that Steelers are possibility to get DK, and I agree with them. I told them that'd be a good pickup, but they still ain't got a damn quarterback. They still don't have a quarterback. So I mean, they got a receiver, but who's going to throw the ball to him? Who else? And Geno Smith to the Raiders. That one kind of shocked me. I'm like, why would Seattle trade Geno Smith? I mean, I thought he played hella good for them, and he did a lot of good for that organization because they weren't supposed to do really much last year. I think to them last year was going to be more of a throwaway season, more than what it was. You know, where they I don't even know, did they make the playoffs? I think they were just shy of making the playoffs. But still, I just think, like I said earlier, if I was building the team, I would have picked Geno over Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had one good year. Geno's been proven to be very consistent throughout his career. So, but those are a couple of there's some other trades. Debo Samuels to the Commanders. Uh, Jeremy Tunsil to the Commanders. Commanders are building a team. Everybody better watch out. Nobody's talking about them, but they're putting a little team together. So y'all better watch out for the Commanders. They're going to be coming after the Eagles. They ain't going to be the Cowboys. Some of the Cowboys, what the Cowboys done, they re-signed Osa Ukazuma. I don't know how to say his last name. O O Osa Ukazuma. I don't know. Odigazua. There you go. Osa Odigazua. I got it right, guys. Whoop whoop. Clap for me. Just for that, I get a drink. Osa Uz. I'm messing up again. Osa Iguazi. Osa. I got his name right here. I just can't say it. Osa. How you say it, babe? Are you here? Oh, how you say it? Osa. I just said it. Anyways, moving on. Again, Turpin. You know, my mom brought that up that they signed Turpin. Um, uh, and I like him. I feel like they got to use him more. How many how many touchdowns? Remember that one touchdown where he ran up the damn seam and then they threw the ball right to him up the middle of the field. I think that the defense just did not account for him running up the middle of the field and he got that touchdown pass. They got to use that more. They got to use him not just trying to get to the outside because I think that's one thing like oh he's fast. Let's try to get him to the outside by reverses and stuff like that. Let's get him going up the field, up the field. You know when he played for TCU, when they ran the ball because he was actually a running back for TCU. They used him as a slot receiver and stuff like that, but mostly he was like a running back. They used him going through the tackles. You know, he'll hit that hole real quick. So I don't see why they don't just use him. I know you don't want him to run across the middle with the middle linebackers, but getting going down the seams, going down the middle of the field straight. If you know they're running a cover two, that linebacker's not going to be able to keep up with him. So um, Marquise Bell, safety. Y'all remember him, Marquise Bell. He's re-signed with the Cowboys. The punter re-signed with the Cowboys, and the deep snapper re-signed with the Cowboys. So those are some of the re-signings that the Cowboys did. The Cowboys did pick up A couple of players, a couple of. They traded for Jace Sandburn. He's a linebacker for the ex linebacker for the Bears. He's actually the defensive coordinator now. Uh, Coached him for at Chicago, so that's why the Cowboys. I think that's why the Cowboys picked him up. So he's the middle linebacker. He did really good last year, 164 tackles. So he's a good player. He listening to the radio this today, they were saying that he's a Turpin. He was uh he's not the fastest player in the NFL. He was the fastest player. They clocked him at the fastest time. The fastest player in the NFL is Xavier Worthy. Um, he just they you can't just always run full speed on the field because you got to make cuts and stuff like that. So, but they tracked Turpin as being the fastest player of the year last year. So, um, they traded for Elam cornerback. I don't know if y'all remember him. He was he played for Florida. He came out. He was a first round pick, but he hasn't panned out just yet. He's still young. They got him on a 1 year deal. Maybe they can put him in the slot. I don't know if he's a good slot corner or not, but maybe they can put him in the slot. If not, we still have Bland who could be in the slot. So um, they signed Solomon Thomas, defensive tackle. Y'all remember him? I think the 49ers got him a few years back. He was a number 3 pick in the 2017 draft. So he's another former first round pick. Cowboys are, I guess, trying to revitalize his career, but we'll see. And then they got a running back, Javonte Williams. He was an ex Bronco. Uh, so uh, I don't know how great he's gonna be. I know he's quick. He's a quick running back, but I didn't watch a lot of Broncos games, so I couldn't tell you how good he was. So maybe we'll see. I guess we'll all find out week 1, huh, if he can stay healthy and get there. So another other things that went on, D Law, Demarcus Lawrence, he signed with Seattle, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, he's up there in his career. He's up there. It sucks to tell him a player who's been with the Cowboys organization for so long say goodbye and go see him play for a different team. But we've seen it so many times. If I can see Emmett playing for Arizona, I guess I can see Demarcus Lawrence playing for Seattle. Um, Same thing with what was his name? Yeah, dang it, Demarcus Ware playing for the Broncos. If I can see that, I mean Lawrence could play. One 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 Hey, what up, Scotty?
What's up?
Welcome to the show, sir.
All right.
Right now we're doing an NFL recap, free agent recap. I was talking about D Law to the Seahawks and how it's hard to say goodbye, but it's it's something that I gotten used to. Like I can see Emmett playing with Arizona, and um, I just said his name too. I can't remember. That's called back. That's called getting old, guys. Um, what was his name? Not Demarcus Lawrence. Demarcus Ware. If I can see him playing for Broncos, I can see Demarcus Lawrence playing for Seattle. Scotty, my mom said hi.
Hello.
All right. One question I got for you, Scotty. Um, what do you think? You weren't here for the what do you think segment, but what do you think of the Colts quarterback battle of Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones?
uh, um, I don't know really what to think about that. I mean, they're both not great quarterbacks, but maybe Daniel Jones will do better in a different system. I don't know.
I told him I was like, when Daniel Jones
We play the
huh?
Giants play the Colts this year
Oh,
too.
do they?
Yeah,
I mean, what if he's a starting quarterback?
that'd be funny.
I said I said Daniel Jones finessed the Giants though. to get paid that money. And then half the season he didn't play because they just benched him.
Yeah.
So
Well, because they would have owed him more money if he got hurt. So.
yeah, yeah. Um, it. Well, now we're back on the NFL recap, free agent recap. Any of the trades or signage surprise you?
Um, Not really.
One that got me, Scott, was the
I mean, San
Devontae
Francisco.
Adams
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
because
mean, San Francisco is getting rid of everybody.
I talked about that. That was
I
one of
guess that
what
was.
that was one of the questions of what do you think?
I
I
guess that was kind of surprising. I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was one of the questions I had for what do you think? I say, what do you think of the 49ers cleaning house? Like,
Yeah. And
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
no.
Yeah, the Devontae Adams one is what surprised me because there was rumors coming out. Remember, we're talking about it earlier in the week, where if you wanted Aaron Rodgers, you got to get Devontae Adams too.
Yeah. Well, I think Aaron Rodgers wanted him, but I don't think he wanted to go
Obvi-
where Aaron Rodgers went.
Obviously, he said, "No, I'm signing with the Rams."
Yeah.
Darius Slay, Eagles ex defensive back, signed with the Steelers. So Steelers are another one. Nobody's really talking about them picking up players, but they're picking up players. Their only problem right now is they don't got a damn quarterback.
Nope.
And listen, I was listening to the radio on the way home from work, and they were talking. Oh, not on the way home. I was on my way to pick up my daughter. They were talking about how that they think this Pittsburghs are waiting on Aaron Rodgers to make a decision if he's going to sign with them or not. And
Yeah, they're
then,
waiting on
huh?
because the Giants are waiting on him too.
Yeah,
Because if he goes with the Steelers, they're probably gonna have to get Russell Wilson.
and I think that's what the same thing the Steelers are saying. Well, if Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
doesn't want to go with us, we're going to sign Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
If I was Russell Wilson, I'm like, fuck you, I'm going somewhere else. And I'm not sure if any other team is trying to offer them any money, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be secondhand to well, they're both washed up now.
Yeah.
I was, you know what? Another one. I was actually surprised Justin Fields going to the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah,
Yeah. Surprised me more is how much they paid Darnold in Seattle.
we talked about again. I wish you were here. What do you think of the Sam Darnold deal with Seattle? 3 years, $100 million, and 55 guarantee.
Yeah, that's a lot for
All right, we got some
yeah,
comments here coming
yeah,
in, Scotty. But
one
go ahead
decent
and finish your.
season.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said it that's a lot. He only had like one decent season last year.
So who would you pick? Now tell me, who would you pick? Geno Smith or Sam Darnold?
Uh right now probably Darnold, I guess.
I said Geno Smith. The reason I say that he's been consistent throughout his career.
Yeah.
You know, and he went through multiple offensive schemes, and I ain't gonna say excelled at it. And last year, I think was one of his better years, but I felt like he's been more consistent. Sam Darnold had one great season with two great receivers, not a great running back, good running back, a good offensive line, and a good defense.
Yeah.
Now he's going to a Seattle team with maybe a good offensive line. Who knows about their defense? Who knows about the running game because the running game can't stay healthy. So, and Seattle just traded their quarterback. I mean, their best receiver.
Yep.
So, Cream said, "I don't see what the hype about Rodgers is." And I know you had made a comment earlier, Scotty.
He's the best available.
Is he the best available?
And
Remember, we were talking about how he's if he's doing what he's doing and having these teams, you know, wait out to find out what to do. That's not a good quarterback. You will want a quarterback who's going to be a team leader to join a team already. You know, to me, I think he's being a selfish baby.
well, yeah, I mean, that's what he does. But
Cream also said, "I think Russ is better than Rodgers." I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I don't.
I don't
I,
know about that.
yeah, that's. I mean, they both. Like I said, they're both washed.
Now they are, yeah.
Yeah.
In their
S-
prime, in their prime, Rogers is definitely better.
Cream said he agreed. Rogers is the diva. Sam not. He said Sam's not going to have the same weapons he had in Minnesota. Exactly. He's not going to have a good season in Seattle. I,
No.
hey, if I'm wrong, I'll come and tell you that I'm wrong. I've done that plenty of times and said I was wrong.
Mhm.
But I told you I was right about Keller Williams. I told you he wasn't going to have a good first season. I was right. Y'all need to listen to me sometimes. I watch football. Um, what about Joey Bosa? I was surprised that San Francisco let him go, but to the Bills, and they just got done releasing what's that defensive end? He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. The Bills, Oaks Bill. Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. They just released them. I don't have my phone. I'll think about it. Scotty, are you ready for your segment, Scotty?
Uh, yeah, think so.
All right, guys, y'all gonna have to listen. Scotty's going over some rules.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over some well, the proposed rules. They haven't been
Implement
um
it.
voted. I think they have to vote on them, or I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the process is. But so the first one is about faking injuries. So basically, they said if the medical personnel enter the field to evaluate an injured player after the ball is spotted, um, the player's team would be charged a timeout. If the team does not have any timeouts, a 5-yard penalty would be assessed.
Is this one in college or this one in NFL or
This
both?
is, these are all college.
Or college? Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, these are all NCAA. Um, if it's determined a player faked an injury to manipulate the rules, defending team's conference is notified and disciplinary action may be made by the conference.
That means
And
fines.
they're going to change the timeouts for overtime. So if a game reaches a third overtime, each team would have one timeout to use until the game is over.
Damn.
So after the third timeout, after the third overtime, you only get one timeout for the rest of the game, basically.
Dang. That's crazy.
And then a couple others. They're still discussing rules about targeting. They haven't really proposed anything yet about targeting, but they're discussing um, new rules for targeting.
Hopefully not eject a player all the time. I think there should be another level of. I mean, if it is like they were trying to kill the player, I can see that. But if it was just the guy just going to make a tackle, you can I don't think he should get ejected.
Yeah,
If it's incidental, you know what I mean. You can tell incidental. At least I've been able to. If a quarterback or running back lowers or receiver lowers his head at the same time as a linebacker lowers his head or safety, it I don't see that
yeah.
being a safety's fault.
I think they also need to address the both NFL and college about the quarterback like running out of bounds and then stopping to try
Oh,
to get the targeting call.
yeah,
Like, um,
unsportsmanlike conduct.
yeah, because it happened a lot. It even happened during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't get the call. And then another one is when the the decision on their instant replay is announced, the referees can only say if it's upheld or overturned.
No more explanations.
They can't say confirmed or stands.
Why? That's
I'm not really sure what the. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be no explanation.
yeah, that's crazy.
But I also heard possibly that the referees are going to have at the end of the game
Uh huh.
to have like a press conference to kind of
Oh,
discuss
yeah, I heard that. Yep.
why they called the play the way they called it or whatever.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Oh, imagine if there's a big game and you get a bad call, or you got to sit there and have to explain yourself to that. It's hard
Yeah,
being a referee. I wouldn't want to be a
yeah,
referee because you got these
yeah.
guys going, you know, 15, 20 miles per hour, and you got to in a split second, anything can happen, and you got to make a split second decision. Was that it, or was that not a penalty?
Which one?
As I'm just saying, as a
Oh,
referee, you got to sit there and make that decision if that's a
yeah.
penalty or not within
I
seconds. You
think
can't sit there and wait.
I think that came about after the Texas game when they reversed the call when the fans started throwing trash on the field.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I think that's where that rule is coming from.
Okay.
Another one is after the 2 minute timeout in either half, if the defense commits a foul with too many players on the field and they participate in the play, the officials would administer it would be a 5 yard penalty. And the offense team would have the opportunity to um, reset the game clock.
And
That
that
comes from when Dan Lanning in Oregon did that a couple times last year. He purposely had too many guys on the field
yep,
to
to run the game clock down.
yeah, run the clock down.
Yep. What's up, Weed? Thank you
And
for joining.
then the last one is about the we kind of talked about this at break about the T signal during the kick. If a player on a kickoff return team makes a T signal during the kick, the play will be was it'd be considered a
Fair catch.
or a fair catch.
So what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is don't know there was a game where the team said that they're going to do a T, basically saying they're going to call fair catch, right?
Well,
But
what happened was it was Illinois and South Carolina, and Illinois player got injured on the kickoff, and so the coach was out there, checking on the guy or whatever. He made the kind of walked over to the South Carolina sideline and made the T symbol, and then the South Carolina coach came out and had words and stuff. So now they're saying that because basically they'll do that to signal to the return team that they're going to do a fair catch.
you know how you when they put the hands out like that, y'all can see me when they go like that, right? That's when they're saying that hey, it's a fair, we're doing a fair catch. I'm showing it on the screen with their arms sticking out.
Yeah.
That's what they do like that, and that means it's a fair catch. And um, the player, I guess he still got hit, huh?
Yeah, that's what the whole thing. That's why. Because what happened was they did the T signal, but then they didn't do a fair catch. He caught the ball and then flipped it back to another player.
Oh, okay.
Did
And
it?
so instead of doing they do a little juke, fake out. We're gonna call fair catch, and all of a sudden now we're not doing a fair catch. So now
Yeah,
that's another signal for fair catch instead of putting their hands over their
yeah.
head.
Supposedly that's an unwritten rule in NFL and college.
Yeah. So now they're making it a rule.
Yeah, college,
College, yeah.
NCAA.
Yep.
Well, it could be.
All right.
Yeah,
Anything
that's
else,
all I
Mr.
have
Scotty?
for the upcoming rule changes.
And this is in college. It's not NFL, guys. College.
Yes.
So I appreciate that, Scotty. Thank you very much. Wait, we just all right. This next segment is brought to you by D Wheat Photography, making memories one click at a time. Give him a call at 682-472-8122. Tell him Jesse sent you from Questionable Sports. So the next segment we are bringing to you, it is, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Oh, the question of the day. I was like, I don't even know what the next segment is. This one. Question of the day. Who is one player you wish the Cowboys had? Like, I know, Scotty, you probably say a kicker who that sucks, but no. Who is one player that you wish the Cowboys had? Any player in the free agency this year. Let's be realistic. I know Jerry Rice or Deion Sanders or Michael Irvin. If there's a player out there that you wish the Cowboys, do you think that would make the Cowboys a better team this year? Any player out there, who would you think that would be? Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm funny, Emma. Thank you. Um, go back.
I know my answer would be
Who's that, Scotty? Who? Let me hear. Who's
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones?
Yep.
Um, but what we got? We'll come back to that in just a minute. Oh, important dates we got coming up next. Important dates. First thing, again, Major League Baseball opening March 18th and 19th, the Tokyo series. Only the Cubs and Dodgers are playing those two games. And then opening day for everybody else is March 27th. Rangers will be playing against the Cincinnati Reds here at home. We also got NCAA basketball coming up. March Madness starting March 18th. Again, those are the bubble game. March 18th and 19th are bubble games. March 19th, me and Scotty are filling out a bracket, and we're doing a live bracket fill on the show with y'all. I think I'm going to do is a QR code. Scan the QR code. It's going to send you to the link to sign up to join the March Madness bracket if you want to join us. Winner will get a handshake from Scott. We're on a very low budget here. Next important date, NFL dates. We got free agency. We opened up today. It actually opened on Monday. They can start negotiating, and today was the actual day you can start signing players. So that's why you had a lot of news of who signed where and what. So there's still gonna be some. Again, you got a couple of Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers out there. So there might be another couple of days you'll have some more signings. The draft is the 24th through the 26th. We will have our draft show April 24th. That's just we're actually I'm gonna be on for all 3 hours of the draft, give you my reactions, drinking, taking shots. Scott was joined for a little bit.
Yep. You know, I'm
Talk with
probably
Giants.
at least through the Cowboys pick.
Yeah, so 12th pick. So y'all join us on that day. We should have some fun. Let's have some fun. That's all we're trying to do is have some fun. I don't go to work the next day, but I still got to get up early in the morning. But I try not to get too drunk. So Quincy Carter, Cream, shut up. Quincy, I did like Quincy Carter though. I'm not gonna lie. I think they gave up on him too early. Um, but going back to the question of the day, now that we're on that, but Cream, I didn't say. I said right now, like a player right now, any player out there, I think that's gonna help the Cowboys out. Not a quarterback that or anybody that's not relevant anymore. I wonder what Quincy Carter's doing now. But anyways, I think another receiver. I think Cowboys can get another, and I want. That's why I wanted. That's why, and you heard me say earlier, Cup. You know, go for Cup. Um, I want a DK Metcalf. I think another receiver will really help the passing game a lot. I mean, it doesn't have to be anybody in free agency. It could be anybody. If there's a player out there that you feel like they can help the Cowboys win right now, or just uh, help them set up again them a little better than what they are right now. Quincy Carter's not on a team. That was like 15 years ago when he was on the Cowboys. 2007, 2008. He's retired somewhere. Maybe coaching somewhere. I don't know. We need a franchise linebacker. Hey, that's a good one. Who's what's his name? The one who Overshown. Man, he's good. He's good. I just hate that he got hurt again. So, but we'll see if he can be back for this next year coming up. Because he messed up his knee bad. But anybody else got anything?
I'm gonna say mine for the Giants.
Okay, go ahead, Scott. That'd be a good
Cowboys.
one.
I mean, Cooper Kupp would be nice, but obviously we need a quarterback. So I'll probably say Kyler Murray.
Ooh, haven't there been talks of the Giants
trading? There's been talks that if
yeah.
Possible trade, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
If they don't get Rodgers, so
that's a good one. You think he'll help the Giants a lot, or you think he'll just help him put him in a better position?
Oh, I mean, we got decent receivers.
You got good receivers, yeah. You need somebody to throw to them.
And we beefed up our defense a lot in free agency.
Yeah, y'all actually got a lot of players this free agency.
Yeah, I think like probably close to 9. Oh, but I think 2 offensive line, all the rest were defense.
Yeah. Yep. All right, that's a good one, Scotty. I should ask you that too. I gotta stop being selfish. So selfish all the time. All right. Well, time to wind it down. Time for the last word. I want to thank y'all. We're up to 40. We're 10 subs away to our goal of 50. Again, pass the word along. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your moms, tell your dads, tell your uncles, aunts, cousins, husbands, wives. Let them know, hey, got somebody who's doing a show, trying to get to 50. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that notification on, let you know when we're going live. We normally go live every Wednesday at 7. So the next show will be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is when we're going to be doing our bracket show, the NCAA bracket show. So we're going to probably spend a lot of time on the NCAA talking college basketball. I don't know a lot about them, but fuck it, we're just going to talk about it. Let's just talk it out. There are 176 days until NFL kicks off again, guys. We're a long ways away, and we're still talking NFL. And college football, it's 163 days until college football kicks off. So that's what I'm more excited about.
Spring games are coming up in April.
Yes, and there is and I think I got to put that on important dates. The was it UFL?
Oh yeah, UFL starts March 28th.
March 28th. It's a Friday or is that a Saturday? That's a Friday.
I think it's a
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Because the Renegades' first game is the 29th.
So there you go.
They're opening against San Antonio.
Oh, nice. Be a good way to kick off the season, kicking San Antonio's ass. So
yeah, I think they usually start it with San Antonio.
Oh, nice. So yeah, UFL football. It's not NFL football, but it's semi-pro football. Seems like, but a lot of players come from there. So let's not sleep on those. Let's watch some of those games.
Yeah.
Scotty, you got anything else?
No.
Oh, wait, we have a question, Scotty.
Okay.
Hey, Scotty, do you think Aaron Rodgers will go with the Giants as a quarterback?
At this point, I think the longer it goes, I think the less likely he'll go with the Giants.
Do you think he'll go with the Steelers?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Hey, watch, he's gonna trick everybody and go with the Titans.
Yeah.
Titans are gonna come out of nowhere and just sweep them up.
He's just using the Steelers and Giants as a smokescreen
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're exactly right.
to get
Well,
more money, get more money from the Titans.
yeah, whatever way, whatever works for him, I guess. But
Yeah.
anything else,
Well,
Scotty, before we get off?
no, that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn your notifications on. We'll be back next Wednesday. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you very much.
See ya.